a special day. We are headed to Laguna Beach to sit down with a buddy of mine, Ed Mylett. Hopefully you know him. Hopefully you've already bought his new book, Max Out. Ed is an incredible person, incredible human being, incredible businessman, entrepreneur, husband, father. Love the dude. We're going to talk about my book, The 100 Doors, and why it's so important, and the blueprint to kind of get to the next level. But why all the commas and the zeros in the world aren't going to make you happy.
Yeah,
super good to meet
so many
you.
great things about you, man. Oh, that's a
And I'm
compliment
like,
to me.
of course, of course I'm the same. Like I'm the
Yeah.
same person.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just so many people.
You mean when they meet you, they think you're the same as you are on camera? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's like, well, yeah, of course I'm the same because I'm the same person.
Right.
Because there's so many people like in this space, as you know, that are just
Yeah.
like, there's this big show, and then they're like a little weird, like when
Yes.
you meet them, right?
Yes.
And it's just like,
It's really, really true.
I never understood that.
Yeah, I don't understand it either.
It's like I'm just the same person I was
So
when I
what's
was,
the time? Well, that's why people like your content,
and
because it's believable.
vice versa. Well,
thank
it's because it's the truth.
Right.
Like
right.
the truth vibrates at the highest level, and it's the
We're
easy.
talking to David Meltzer.
Yeah, actually,
Christiana?
I did. It's so nice to meet you.
Yeah.
So I'm actually sitting down with David on Tuesday.
Oh, he's such a good dude.
And we're
Please-
filming him.
Please tell him hello. Tell him
Oh.
when you see him, just remember this. Tell him I know that I owe him lunch.
Okay.
And that I was in Abu Dhabi and I came back, I got this infection, it's all over my freaking face. So tell him I've been
Yeah.
fighting this bizarre, we don't even know what the hell it is. And I have to
That's
eyes.
why I'm watching you. I'm down here.
Yeah, she's like, you're not allowed to be in the sun, and I'm going to pull you
I'm
in if
sorry,
you get
but
in the
I know
sun.
we want to shoot out there. It's
Hey,
just
no,
something
no,
home at the zoo.
I completely understand. I've got super sensitive skin, and
Yeah,
I
you
go
probably do. You're like
the
too.
same whole thing. Like my dad, the same thing. So
I don't know about you, man. So the only thing you need, by the way,
Yeah.
we should have done, I'm kind of frustrated. My assistant is separate from my social media team altogether, so I have a whole team that does my social media stuff.
Sure.
And my assistant's my sister.
Okay. Oh, that's
She's been
good.
My sister for however old she is, 40. But she's been my assistant for like 18 years. But she booked me today. When you were coming down, if I knew that you were the one on the schedule today, I would have said, let's just sit here and have a drink and have some lunch and get to know you.
Sure.
So, because David will tell you, when my guests come in, we spend a half a day at least.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that. She's booked me. I've already done 3 today. 3 full-blown. I did an Instagram live and 3 full-blown shows, and then I have a
Sounds like my schedule.
12:45, 1:45, 3:45, and then my guy who wants to buy part of my jet is coming at 4. I told you 3, but it's 4. So I'm sorry, I was limited today.
I completely understand. I'm still super grateful for your time.
Oh, of course.
And then we can always come back and reschedule and talk about something else too.
Well,
I mean,
we'll flip it and have you on mine.
that'd be great.
Yeah,
That'd be awesome.
probably found it.
That's why I love Instagram. I've gotten 14 off-market deals because
Sure.
people follow me on Instagram. They're like,
got a few
hey,
too.
right?
Yeah,
Because
they know you have cash, they know you can buy right away.
and you're a good dude.
Yeah, right, exactly.
And they know over and over again. I have the same message. Like it's the same over and over again. Plus, I love to help people with this little thing. It's called house hacking now.
Okay.
But it was something that like I found when I was 31. I found 3.5% financing on a 4-unit building. So I'm like, let me get this straight. I can put down $20,000
Right, control a gigantic asset.
and control $800,000 in real estate. I can live in one of the units, rent out the other 3 to 100% cover the mortgage, so I get to live for free.
Beautiful.
And I'm like, why isn't everybody doing this?
Yes, especially the live-in one. I totally agree with that. by the
Right?
way.
So I've been
never heard someone say that. I totally agree with it.
I've been helping all these millennials do that now.
It's amazing. I did not know you said that, and that's the number one piece of advice I give these guys. Go buy a 3 or 4-plex and stick yourself in one of them. Plus, you can manage the property. You're right there. You know.
I'm telling you, from the man's mouth. I didn't even prep that.
Yeah.
So it's a huge message for me because
Massive, brother. Best advice you could give somebody. Honest to God, like that's guys come down here that are Instagram sort of successful dudes. We sit right out there. They ask me what should I be doing, and I said this is where I would begin. I'd go buy 2, 3, and 4-plexes. I'd live in one of the damn units, and you're exactly.
it's
right.
what I'm preaching from the mountaintops. And
Wonderful. And by the way, they're affordable, depending on the market, but they're affordable. Yeah.
they are, and there's all these places like 120,000. You can buy one in Cleveland, Ohio.
That's good. I'm glad you said it. 'Cause the next thing I was going to ask you is where do you get them all? Because
Everywhere.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like the other piece of it too is like because we're in Southern Cal.
We have the most compressed cap rates in the nation.
She said this yesterday on the phone. Who was I talking to about this yesterday? Shit, I remember it was someone that you and I would both know. That was asking me about. Oh my gosh, who was it? I'll remember in a minute, but it's a very significant person in this space. Actually, now that I remember, I won't say who it was. were talking about buying multi-unit stuff and like where do you live? I said, dude, I live in Laguna Beach. The cap rates here are like 1%. I'm not buying anything. I'm not saying you shouldn't if there's the right deal.
Yeah,
but like,
if it's like a 30-year hold, it's different.
Look at the damn cap rates. Oh, is it? I know who it was. Yeah, I can't repeat it that way.
Okay.
But I'm like, you got to be really careful what the cap rate is where you buy too. So
I
totally agree with that.
And you can get pinched in a hurry. Right? Big hurry.
But the good thing about what you're saying, not to interrupt you, because I'm in that space, it is your space, so I would defer to you on that stuff, but I've done pretty well in that space.
Yeah.
I think A-Rod and I are talking about this. Like, if you buy a really good property, like it's just a good property, you don't have to be so worried about completely getting pinched over the short term, as long as you got cash flow to sustain yourself, especially if you're taking residency in the place. So you can't take total fear over that. There you go. Yeah.
This is called 100 Doors, and this is my book. It's literally...
Can I have that?
Absolutely, it's yours.
I'll give you mine too.
It is the blueprint for seasoned investors.
Okay.
It's the blueprint for somebody fresh out of high school that's trying to figure out what direction do I go. And it's also for the person that's third generation renter, like my mom, who didn't really know what's up. Single mom, worked her butt off.
Yep.
If she would have known, and like these moms in Cleveland, Ohio, that are third generation.
Retire financially independent.
Okay, first, I'm a dad and a husband, like end all be all before that. And then I'm on my spiritual path, a very spiritual person. Then business. I literally do it like in sections, where it's like the first thing I do in the morning, meditation for 10 minutes, pray. Then I sit in gratitude for 5 minutes. Then I work out, and my little monkeys wake up, so we have our quiet time together running around the house. And then I make the whole family breakfast, green food, healthy food. And then like the nanny shows up. I love my wife to death. She sleeps till like 7:30 or 8. So then like she gets up, I turn my phone on, and then I go about my day. But everything is handled at home first, so I can go hunt with a clear mind.
Yeah, this is good.
It's important.
I need you on my show, brother.
I would love to be on your show.
Yeah, I'm really. The coolest thing about doing my show is that I end up mentoring probably 99%. In fact, it's probably 100, but
yeah,
there's probably so many. The people who've been on my show have stayed in my life, every single person. And what happened was, he saw me speak. I speak in front of pretty large groups. He came up to me, he's like, hey man, I never heard of you before, but I've only done 3 interviews in my life. I killed Osama bin Laden. This guy looks like Richie Cunningham, right? I'm like, bullshit.
No, he does. He's like a pasty, dude.
Goes, oh, man, I killed Osama bin Laden. I'd love to do your show. In fact, I'll fly myself down to your house. I'd love for you to interview me. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. And so we become really good friends. In fact, he's coming to speak. I'm taking him on a tour with me starting next week. We're going to taking Eric Thomas and a couple other dudes, including him.
He's a great dude too. E.T.'s a great dude.
On my show. He's a great dude.
What's happening, everybody? Today we are with the man, the myth, the legend, the one and the only Ed Mylett. Super honored to be here. We are in his beautiful home. We have the ocean behind us, listening to these waves, and I'm going to let you guys hear from the man himself, and we're going to get into why this guy has done what he's done and why he's helping so many people. So Ed, thank you so much for having us.
Thanks for being here, brother.
Appreciate it, brother man.
I talk about it, but in hindsight, here's the real bottom line truth. I did not have a very high identity. I didn't really believe in myself. I didn't really know. I wish someone had gone back and said, you are special, you are gifted, you are great, and would have challenged me to work harder. The truth is, I worked hard. I worked hard, and that's not the standard where you excel. I didn't outwork everybody. I wasn't the hardest worker in the room. I didn't have the highest level of belief. I didn't work on my worth. I didn't work on visualization, and I failed. So the cool thing about that was I let that affect me where I knew what I never wanted to do in my life when I got into business. So I got into business. I already knew who I didn't want to be, which was that baseball player. Hardworking, but not the hardest worker. Kind of worked on myself, but had low self-esteem, low identity. I never knew how good I was, and I also knew what it was like to have a dream completely fail. A lot of people listening to this have that. They had a marriage that didn't work, or they have a boyfriend or girlfriend broke up, they were going to college and they dropped out, maybe it was a business setback, something they really wanted to be or do failed, right? The question isn't whether that's going to happen, because it happened to me. The question is, what did you take from it? What did you learn from it? And how are you going to respond to it? And so for me, all of this, ironically, weirdly, is a response to that failure.
Alrighty guys, we just wrapped with Ed. Incredible human being, incredible interview. Stay tuned, it's going to be on YouTube, Facebook. We're going to chop some stuff up into Instagram. But way more than that, such a good human. Just down to earth, husband, father, business leader in his space. But the man really cares and really wants to help people. If you're not following him, go follow Ed Mylett on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. shoot over to his website, get his new book. It's Max Out. Hashtag Max Out. It's free on his website. You go to Amazon, buy the book, get it. The guy's not all about the commas and the zeros in the bank. He's about changing people and really, really, really making a difference. Ton of respect for that man. Stay tuned.